Welcome back to the Health Longevity Secrets Show with your host, Dr. Robert Lufkin. His book, titled Lies I Taught in Medical School, has just been named to the New York Times bestseller list. And now, please enjoy this week's episode, where we explore the quest for longevity with James Stroll.
This week, we get to unlock the secrets to living a longer, healthier life with our special guest, James Stroll, co-owner of People Unlimited and director of the Coalition for Radical Life Extension. With a dedication spanning over 5 decades, James takes us through his inspirational journey from skepticism to becoming a leading advocate for super longevity. Learn how he and his partner, Bernadine Brown, championed the idea of unlimited lifespans and founded People Unlimited in 1995, creating a supportive community dedicated to wellness and longevity. By 2016, their efforts culminated in the successful RadFest conference, a groundbreaking event that merges scientific advancements with community engagement. This year's RadFest is actually happening September 5th through 8th in Anaheim, California. I'll be there. If you attend, be sure and say hi. So today in this conversation, we discover the transformative power of community in achieving optimal health and wellness. We dive into the importance of shared experiences and collective knowledge, emphasizing how in-person interactions and community events can elevate our health journeys. From diverse health protocols to cutting-edge longevity therapies, James sheds light on how the vibrant community in Scottsdale, Arizona, is pushing the boundaries of progressive wellness practices. Additionally, we explore the Coalition for Radical Life Extension's mission to unite top doctors, scientists, and the public through engaging events like RadFest, making groundbreaking longevity therapies accessible and enjoyable. This episode underscores the powerful impact of community, mindset, and spiritual rejuvenation on our path toward achieving unlimited lifespans. This episode is sponsored by American Heart Technologies, maker of Vendus, the only FDA-cleared, fully automated, operator-independent, non-invasive, easy-to-use, office-based device for measurement of vascular reactivity and endothelial function. I'm excited about this new technology as it is essentially a non-invasive way to evaluate the endothelial dysfunction at the root of major chronic diseases such as hypertension, diabetes, heart attack, stroke, and Alzheimer's that we talk about so often on this program. See the link in the show notes for special access. This episode is brought to you by L-Nutra, maker of the Prolong fasting mimicking diet. If you'd like to try it, use the link in the show notes for 20% off. This episode is sponsored by SciFox Health. One of the most common questions I get asked is which blood tests I check myself on a regular basis. Well, I check 17 biomarkers, but the secret is I'm able to do everything from the convenience of my home. I collect the sample with just a simple finger stick like this. You don't need to be a doctor to do it. Then I just mail it in and wait for the results. SciFox Health makes it possible. Use the link below to get 15% off. And now, please enjoy this week's episode. Hey, Jim, welcome.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for having me on.
Well, I'm so excited to talk about the communities you've built and your experience with longevity, but maybe we could just take a moment and tell us how you got involved with this and sort of your personal longevity journey.
Do I have a couple of days here to talk on this? Or what? Yeah, well, thanks, Rob. Well, the short story is, and it had to be a short story, obviously. I've been speaking on super longevity and mortality slice immortality for 50 years. So it started in 1972, actually, over 50 years. And when I met my partner, who I actually working with still, Bernadine Brown, and she was working with another individual too called Charles Brown, and they were together. And they were speaking on unlimited lifespans and saying that immortality is possible. Now, there wasn't a lot of very little science at that time on any of it. I remember reading an article at that time in the Scottsdale newspaper from Joshua Ledenberg, who was a geneticist, and it came out, interesting enough, that was in about 75, I think it was. It came out in the paper that he was saying immortality is possible, and it was back on, I think, I thought it should have been the front page news, right? but that was exciting to see that come out at that time, because we were speaking about the idea of immortality, that it should be the natural tendency in our bodies is to have an unlimited lifespan, and that we would eventually come across the science to support that. Well, then that article pops up, and at that time, of course, those type of sessions and events were pretty much private to doctors and scientists at that time, so we weren't able to attend that at all. But up until other than that, there wasn't any real science to back what we were saying. So you can imagine we're out there talking all over the country and sending out newsletters and everything else that that people should have unlimited lifespans. Interesting enough, we have got a lot of rebuke on it by people, mostly people who would say that it didn't support the religious beliefs. You have to die first to go to heaven and have everlasting life, all those kind of concepts. But excitingly enough, a lot of people responded, and so we started traveling the United States, speaking on the subject, and then we were invited overseas to speak, and we traveled all 26 different continents, all over the world, and then consequently we put together quite a following of people who were actually supporting the idea of unlimited lifespans. So that went on for quite some time, and then in 1995, Bernie and I formed what's now called People Unlimited, which we have because we wanted to build an organization, a network of people that were actually a community that were actually supporting each other with both the education and the inspiration and the support of each other to live unlimited lives. And so that became very popular, and is still, that people from different areas of the world moved here. And now we have these events we meet twice a week. We're the largest organization of its kind that is dedicated actually to immortality or super longevity. And that was founded in 1995. And then however, in 2014, we had the idea to start expanding out from People Unlimited and meet more people in what we call the longevity community. And so I started reaching out to doctors and scientists that I knew that were talking about this. Up to that time too, I hadn't heard a lot of science out there. So I began to research that, found different people like Dr. Bill Andrews, Aubrey de Grey, who is now on our support team and scientific team for RadFest, for the coalition. We met several other, Bill Falloon with Life Extension Foundation, and consequently, in my conversation with them, I expressed to them the idea of forming a coalition for radical life extension, and then launching that idea with a big event that would support the coalition and begin to help galvanize the radical life extension community. So we put our first event on in 2016, RadFest, which stands for Revolution Against Aging and Death Festival, and it was a big hit. Contrary to a lot of the supporters of the event, they weren't sure what it would do. But and a lot of the scientists and doctors we talked to at that time did not just want another boring science event. They said we walk out of our own events, sometimes, and talk in the hallway. So they said, please try to put on something that we want to draw the public in any way. So we said, why not create something like a Woodstock for radical life extension, something festive, fun, that everybody could also enjoy, dance, and learn the best of science and connect, have a human connection. So that's what we put together. And in 2016, when it took place, and we didn't know what would happen, we didn't know if 200 people would show up or 1,000. Well, we had got over 1,000 people at the first event. So we were all thrilled. And from there, it just has continued to keep moving. Like many events, the COVID set us back for a couple of years. We had to go virtual. It kind of stunned our growth some, but now we're back again, growing. And a lot of people, of course, I'm probably biased in that level, but I think it's one of the, if not the best event of its kind, in the world, that actually focuses on not just maximum wellness, but also age reversal as the real focus and stopping aging. So does that cover that?
Yeah, no, that's
I
great.
know that was a fast.
I love it. Well,
Yeah.
Going back to the People Unlimited, so that particular organization, if I understand you correctly, that's one that's based. It's a community, a longevity community there in Scottsdale. Is that right? Where it's based?
Yes, that's right. Scottsdale, Arizona. And if you haven't been to Scottsdale, I think you have, Rob. But in fact, I know you have. It's a beautiful area. We've created a really vibrant community of super longevity enthusiasts here that really mean business. We meet twice a week. And I want to say, while we're on this subject, I want to invite people who are listening to this to come and check us out. They can also come on virtually to our events with People Unlimited if they want to get a feel for what we're doing. But best is showing up in person. We have week-long events twice a year. We have 2 events a week, and then we have weekend events once a month, a complete 3-day weekend event. And they're amazing. But the key thing is, I really experienced that to live a long time that we all want to, and I think we're all aware of this in some level, we need the support for that. And it's not just a lone trip, because there's so much, as you know, to learn, so much to glean from. And really, there's also pitfalls sometimes that aren't always easy to get through by yourself. I mean, we need encouragement, we need inspiration, we need education, and this is what this community provides. In a nutshell. I mean, you can go online and learn things, of course, and we all do, but there's a difference between being in person and being able to actually interact with each other. For example, at our events the other day, we all shared what we're all doing individually, diet-wise. And of course, there's so many different diets, of course, and ways to eat. But we shared different protocols from young plasma exchange results to exosomes to stem cell, that stem cells, placenta stem cells that many have done, and all the different other protocols, senolytics. And then we're able to share those together, talk about them, encourage each other through sometimes difficulties that come up with one's health and what to do. And it's just so powerful, to have a community. I'm personally so grateful for it. And I think we have Vitalia, I think I'm pronouncing that right, up in Honduras. Okay. Is that right? Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Vitalia. Vitalia. Yeah. Which is, I want to get up there in June and check out. And I think it's a great thing that they have that community they're developing up there. And it's beautiful. And they're going to be able to do a lot of things offshore that, still we can't do here. But Arizona is also a right to tri-state. So there's a lot of things we can do here. And so not everybody is going to be able to go to Honduras, and where Scottsdale is very convenient for especially people here in the States to come to and even live here and take part in this great community and help us build this here. We've got everything here. We got maximum wellness doctors here. Many of them are really progressive. We've got the people here to support that. We got great climate overall. The summers are a little bit hot, but it's dry heat. But we have, there's AC, of course, and then, people love it here because also the topography is great. You can be here and in the winter have 70-degree weather most of the time, clear skies, go up an hour and a half from here and be in the snow. And so you have all these other elements, and it really plays to being able to create a very fruitful community that not only is able to share the most advanced protocols and support each other in them and really thrive, but also an area an area to live in that's a lot of fun and safe to live in. So I want to put that, I want to put that call out to everybody who's listening to this, because that's Honduras is great. I'm going to go there. I may even buy a place there to visit different times to be able to benefit that. But here we have Scottsdale, Arizona, where you can just come and live here year round if you want to, and get the best of everything that's here to offer. And we're growing that all the time. We have more people coming in here, more people interested. And like I was talking to you, that we were creating collaborations to get the best of wellness protocols and age reversal modalities that we can get.
Yeah, that's such the whole Scottsdale is beautiful, and the
Yeah,
idea of community is so powerful with longevity, and it's great that people can check it out online initially and
right.
sort of get a taste of it a little bit there. And so
Yeah,
that's People Unlimited. Now, the Coalition for Radical Life Extension is a different structure. It's the foundation for the RadFest conference then.
that's
And
right.
how is that different, or what are the goals there that?
Okay, so it's different from the standpoint that People Unlimited is a subchapter S corporation owned by Bernie and I. Okay, the coalition is a 501c3 nonprofit, organization. Okay, that's we have a board. We have Bill Falloon on the board, Liz Parrish, Dr. Bill Andrews, myself, and Bernadine Brown, so we have created the coalition to help galvanize the radical life extension community and create a place, a space where doctors, top doctors, scientists, and the public can jointly come together and share the latest therapies, modalities, etc., for super longevity, and have a environment that's conducive to learning, and an enjoyable environment, because you're not going to get a lot of the public in per se to an event unless there's something that they can really relate to, or get benefit from, or to be able to understand. And so at RadFest, we encourage all of our speakers to speak more in layman terms, and also offer modalities and therapies that are clearly can advance someone's health, and how to get there, and also be accessible to the public there. And that's what's great about RadFest too, that all the doctors, we have many networking opportunities, and opportunities for the public, the individuals, to meet the doctors, talk to them, connect with them, later on down the line, and to actually genuinely advance their health in many a plethora of ways.
Yeah, yeah, it's such a great conference. Like I said, I've attended
Yeah,
it several times. It is sort of the Woodstock of
yeah,
longevity. It has music, it's fun, there's interactions, and then great speakers there, great
yeah,
content, and the technical exhibits I really enjoy. It's a large number of vendors there with all sorts of longevity tech.
yeah, yeah.
Some of it wild, but it's great. It's great to see and get it out there, and remind everyone the dates this year and location, where it's going to
Yes,
be.
it's going to be in Anaheim, California, at the Hyatt Regency there. Okay, and it's September 5th through the 8th.
Yeah,
Yeah, 5th through the 8th.
yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to be
Okay,
there this year as well. Well,
just a little ways from Disneyland. Just a little ways from Disneyland. So
that's right.
I took our whole team to Disneyland after the event last year.
Nice.
It was
That's a
fun. It was
treat.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good way to blow it all out afterwards, right?
Great idea. Yeah.
Besides, it was
Well,
Mickey Mouse. It was Mickey Mouse's birthday that year, and he's immortal.
he
Right? So,
is. He
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Well, I want to, in the time we have remaining, I wanted to pivot to one thing, a concept you touched on before. I've heard you speak about it. It's a really fascinating idea of that. You talked about immortality, but the idea of an immortal germline or immortal lineage, it's a great visualization. It's a great thought. Maybe you could expand on that just a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Um, so look, well, I had an experience. I've always been inspired by the idea, and the thought of unlimited lifespans, like yourself and many of us who are following or taking this journey. But about a little over 2 years ago, it was right towards the end of the COVID. I was feeling pretty heavy laden. I'll use that term, and kind of frustrated at seeing so many people, especially through COVID, die, and so many people get sick. And I also noticed a lot of associates of through the longevity network were getting kind of discouraged themselves, and wondering, oh, are we going to really be able to get some type of innovation or therapy before our time? I mean, is this generation that we're living in now? I mean, are we going to be able to conquer death and aging? And so, many of them were pretty discouraged when I talked to them, and not very hopeful. They'd say, well, it might not be in my lifetime, et cetera, et cetera. And so, I began to think about this, and I thought, wow, I've been doing this since, like I said, 1972. It's been a wonderful journey in that level, but a lot of challenges. And I was starting to feel like, I was also carrying, honestly, I was carrying a lot of, I'll say, some frustrations in my own self about, seeing people not necessarily make the choice to really live. And they would, like Bill Falloon always talks about, all these billionaires who could, he talks to them all the time, and they could change their lives, their health, just by investing more into into their own bodies, and by investing in super longevity. But he was seeing them die, And so I began to think, wow, it's going to take a lot more strength than we think to walk this path, to really get where we want to all get. I think we take that for granted sometimes. We don't all realize how traumatized we are really by death, and what's in our bodies in that level. And it's one thing to have hope for these innovations. It's another thing to have the strength to live to get there, to stay alive, to be able to benefit from these innovations. So I began to think, oh, I'm strong. I feel good, but I'm going to need something more than that strength that I've had before. And so as I began to give to that, I thought, okay, I know innately there's this potential in our bodies to have unlimited lifespan, but how do you really tap into that? And there must be something there. I thought in my deliberation in this, there must be something there in our bodies that we could tap into to give us this extra strength or resolve, at least for myself, I felt. So again, as I began to give this, I one night started to, this is interesting. I started to flick. I thought, I'm going to get my mind off this and watch a movie or something on Netflix. So I started flicking through the movies, and then all of a sudden this movie came up about Jesus. It was called The Chosen. It was just I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's pretty well nationwide now. And it was a religious, story about Jesus, but the acting was amazing, I think, in it. And it was crowdfunded by several different denominations, religious denominations, everything from the Catholic to Hebrew to you name it, religions, and they put this together to get the most factual accounting of Jesus' life and his disciples. But so that was good. So first when I looked, I thought, oh, it's some more, in my own mind, some religious propaganda. I kind of walked out of that. I don't want to hear it. But then I thought, oh, I've got to watch this because I'm drawn to it. So I began to watch it a little bit. As soon as the actor came on who was playing Jesus, started speaking, and he was a good actor, but I realized now it wasn't just this movie or the actor, it was this energy that Jesus was projecting. And I began to feel something new enter my body. Now, be clear that I'm not talking about the Jesus that the religious world defines or their interpretation of Jesus. I'm talking about the Jesus before religion hijacked who he was. Okay, this human being. Now, to me, this human being, I began to realize it was the first manifestation of a person on this planet. Now, there's other people who there were signs of this immortality through time, this seed, I'll say, but he was the first to really come forth and the full manifestation of the realization, I feel, of that immortality was possible. And he was misinterpreted, but he was saying all about life. He wasn't about death. He wasn't about the crucifixion and being dying. He was full of life. And he said, eat of my flesh, drink of my blood, and you have everlasting life. What was he meaning by that? He wasn't literally saying, eat of my flesh, drink of my. He was saying, communicate with me, partake with me. He said, when I knock at your door, let me in, and we will have a feast together of new life. Whoa. So as I began to watch that, I thought, oh man, I'm feeling new energy in my body. And so I thought, okay, this might just be temporary. I might just have, but I woke up in the morning and I felt all my burdens that I had felt had left me. The sorrow, the trauma that I had felt through the last few years of seeing, like I say, people I knew die and et cetera, and struggle. And all that burden left me. I thought, oh, wow, this is beautiful. And I felt a new energy in my body. So, as you know, I expressed a little bit about this at RadFest. So anyway, I then, as I began to give to that more and open up, the short story is it just got stronger all the time in my person. And I began to express about it to people unlimited. So I've experienced, I believe that this potential is innate in us. I think Jesus was the human being that I'll say, I don't think he was, I think this seed was possibly from the beginning of time, but he was the first human being to bring it to fruition, to actually give it clothing, give it something that he was able to manifest it in his own body in a deep way. And so consequently, he affected, if you want to say, the DNA or the core of the imprint that's in our bodies here of immortality. And that's what he was speaking. And that's really what got him into hot water, was he was speaking that he wasn't about sacrifice, okay? Because he said, I'm here to end sacrifice. And so he was about full on living. So anyway, I felt the imprint of that in my body. And so I began to speak about it, people unlimited and everywhere. And since then, it's just grown stronger and stronger. So consequently, I think that this is like an immortal bloodline in our body, connected to him. I think it's gone, way back before him. But again, he was that first person to actually give it credence and bring it to fruition. Like Robert Bannister example, who ran the 4 minute mile under 4 minutes in the mile, and then everyone else was able to do that. So Jesus made that breakthrough for us to benefit from, and he created this lineage helped create this lineage in our bodies for us to tap into. Now, whether anyone believes that that's from that standpoint, it's Jesus or whatever, it really doesn't matter, because that lineage is there in our bodies, that blueprint, I believe. And when we tap into that, it gives us the supernatural strength, I'll call it, the strength we should have. It's an immortal strength to really get where we want to get in this super longevity flow and not wear out from it. That's a key thing. What do we need? The resilience, the strength, the resolve, the foresight, the intelligence, everything that we need is in our bodies to tap into. And then we draw everything to us rather than struggling to get it. I'm putting a lot of this, like I said, as short as I can, because we have limited time, but it's very powerful, Rob. And since I've experienced this, it's just gotten better for me all the time. And now I'm speaking this to other people, like at People Unlimited, and they're having some of the same experiences. It's amazing. They begin to ignite this, and we're igniting this in our bodies, because it just isn't for me. It's really for every one of us. We have this, and all of us have this in us. It's fantastic. And it's for us to tap into it. And like I said, it gives us a new strength and resilience to get where we want to get.
Yeah, this whole idea of mindset and visualizing immortality can be very, very powerful and
exactly
affecting all of us. It reminds me of Brian Marescu wrote a book called The Immortality Key that talks about religions a little bit and immortality, but it's fascinating. Well, I want to be respectful of your time and everything. And Jim, how can people follow you on social media and also find out more about the Coalition for Radical Life Extension, RadFest, and also People Unlimited? Maybe you could give us that information.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, feel free to contact me personally if you want to have questions or comments at my it's jrstroll@gmail.com. That's jrstroll@gmail.com. You want to talk to me personally about more what I'm expressing here. Also, you can go to www.peopleunlimitedinc.com and look up our website and find out everything what People Unlimited is doing. The coalition or RadFest email address is www.rlecoalition.com. Okay, so any of these email addresses, they can also go to the coalition website, Coalition for Radical Life Extension website, or Google RadFest, RAADFEST, radfest.com, and look up exactly what RadFest and what we're doing there, and be able to share, their information with their friends and bring everybody they can, because it's a celebration of life, right, Rob?
Absolutely. Well, this has been so much fun, Jim. Thanks for taking the time to spend with us today, and also thanks for all the great work you're doing.
Yeah, thank you for all the great work you're doing. Appreciate it.
If you are enjoying this program, please hit that subscribe button, or even better, leave a review. Your support makes it possible for us to create the quality programming that we're continually striving for.
Can I start? Is it recording?
It's already recording.
Oh, sorry. This is for general information and educational purposes only, and it's not intended to constitute or substitute for medical advice or counseling. The practice of medicine or the provision of healthcare, diagnosis, or treatment, or the creation of a physician-patient or a clinical relationship. The use of this information is at their own user's risk. If you find this to be on the value, please hit that like button to subscribe to support the work that we do on this channel. And we take your suggestions and advice very seriously, so please let us know what you'd like to see on this channel. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next time. You should say that.
That's good. You like it? You want to do it one more time, or is that good? I think that was good.
Yes. You need to save the recording.
All right.